This is Duelist bringing you Chaos Smarts action. We'll get to the lineups later. Bob and a Nova Cat E. Hollander D for Marius. Burner and Mad Cat D. Some sort of Puma and a UCLC for Krieger. This is for Planet Procyon. Opposing them is Django and a Rio A, Proxima and a Daiichi C, Cougar E for Shooter, Silvercraft and an Uller UAC 10. Procyon's fate falls on this map. The red team needs a victory against the blue team. If the blue team wins, it's over. Procyon, a critical planet, both for the defenders of the Tikhonoff Task Force and also for the attackers of the Blakist forces. This is TC Frostbite, a map that is large, stock, cold. The red team has gone completely long range and will sit up on one of the edges of the map. They had discussed using an airspace for an aerospace superiority fighter, but were not able to get enough pilots to show up, and then so they decided to go long range. And for the other team, based on their list, it looks like that they are also designed to go long range. Albeit that they have a little bit more. They have two heavies versus just the one assault. Although you can make the argument that that Ryokin is a heavy. The two teams balanced the number of super veteran players. Proxima and Django and Bob made a necessity that we had to pick one of the teams that would get the two of them, and I talked to the faction leaders, and so one team ended up with two. So there's definitely a bit of a skill and balance here, but for Burner's team, he gets Marius, one of the best drop commanders in the entire game, and Proxima is excellent himself. But that's certainly an advantage for the blue team in having Marius as their drop commander. So it might even up skill-wise. We'll see what happens. Burner's team here, the Tikhonoff team, is definitely built better for multiple ranges. The red team, the Blakist team, is definitely built for extreme long range. They have a couple of assets that can attack short range, but this Mad Cat alone is dangerous enough that it could probably take on two assets at once. So anyway, both teams are definitely going to be relying on LRM fire here for the bulk of their force. The Mad Cat, excuse me, the Daiichi is extremely dangerous, but is definitely built for range. And right now, Django has arrived first, and he is about to die if he is not careful. His other assets are probably a ways away. The loss of this Ryokin and Django would be just absolutely bad news for their forces. So right now, Burner has an advantage. If Marius realizes it, they can push hard. Django does have enough escape speed that he may be fine, but Marius deciding to be a bit cautious here if they have in fact discovered Django, because it could be a trap from that one really famous film that everybody seems to like. So anyway, Django, they saw Django, I believe. Marius is deciding to pull back and get a bit more range. Maybe get on top of that hill to see. The two teams recognize the importance of this battle, so they are going to be a bit cautious and make sure that they have the upper hand when they do decide to attack. They have 900 meter to 1200 meter range right now with their weapons. So Marius has called for a fire in line, daring the opponent to come up and fire. The arrow 4s can hit from 1200, but there's only 24 total shots, or 12 total shots. So they have to be cautious with that. Neither team really has much of radar. That UCLC has GECM. The other team has 3 of their assets with GECM, which reduces the radar signature by 500 meters and allows to leave your radar on and detect other assets. However, standard practice is to leave your radars off, which means that you need to get within 300 meters for radar signature usually, or visual scouting. So visual sight will be very important in this match, and you can see that the visibility is a bit limited here. Large map, cold map, so you can fire your lasers and your other heat generating weapons pretty good. You can go pretty heavy with your weapons. The Mad Cat has 2 LRM-15 racks that can fire up close in an arc. The UAC-20 for Bob is an extremely dangerous weapon alongside its 2 900-meter hitting PPCs. You can see that the Lambs was able to easily destroy the Arrow 4, and now they've played their hand and they know that they're facing some sort of arrow launching thing. The Lambs easily shot it down. Here comes another one, and will also be shot down. So the arrows are not going to get through. They're going to have to coordinate their fire with the LRMs. That green laser you're seeing is a laser anti-missile system, and if it's able to shoot down those arrows, they'll have to get their LRMs to shoot, but by doing that, they'll expose themselves within range of their opponent's weapons. The UAC-2 is now firing on Burner. Burner is outranged by about 300 meters. The only thing that can hit for Burner from 1200. They can dumbfire the missiles, but given that neither team has ammo resupply with the armored personnel carrier, they'll have to be careful with that. So the only thing that can hit out with enough range is Marius's Hollander with 4 generally weak weapons and 1 respectable weapon in the Light Gauss, as we see the teams starting to move out a bit. Bob is acting as the scout, making sure they don't flank from this position. Marius also taking a look. Marius able to get off that Light Gauss shot, but now he's going to have to back up to deal with the Daishi. I'm a bit surprised that Burner's decided to split his forces, that Marius has decided to split their forces. But who am I to second guess Marius, one of the best drop commanders in the entire game? Proxima moving back to his other position, which means that they've decided to move the Mad Cat over here. So they've sent 2 groups out, which means there's a 5th asset missing here. There it is. So they have split their forces to prevent the other team from flanking in any one position, and now the teams are going to try and get into position to get their weapons. Right now Proxima likely wants to know, what assets are we facing, where are they at, who's in them, what are they positioning. There's a number of things that a drop commander has to keep in mind and tell his forces while they fight. Burner's got a lock. That's going to be a nasty hit for whatever hits. Davionics is just taking a crap load of fire, and he's going to try and get his missiles in. Davionics is in critical damage by now. His missiles do hit. The arrow will not get through. And they're trying to coordinate their missile fire, but right now Davionics is taking a lot of hits, and he is going to die if he gets 1 or 2 more hits. He's doing a good job. They're trying to coordinate their missile fire so that the Arrow 4 can get through the anti-missile defense. However, right now, as he gets a lock on Silver, the upper hand belonging to the blue team at this particular moment. Proxima has plenty of armor. He'll be okay. But what they're trying to do is coordinate their LRM fire between Django, Davionics, and Proxima, so that they can fire all of their weapons at once, so that the lasers will try to shoot down the LRMs, and that the Arrow 4 will get through. Davionics is very heavily hurt right now. The Mad Cat is taking some decent damage, but right now, definitely the blue team has the advantage with positioning. Proxima going to take a decent hit here. They're trying to coordinate their lambs between the Bushwhacker and Proxima, because if they are in the right position, they can shoot down the entire missile attack of Burner in the same manner that Burner's been able to shoot down their Arrow 4 attack so far. Davionics is now moving up with the team, and they're trying to get away without giving the blue team their positioning. However, Burner has a pretty good line of sight, and while Burner's been engaging them, I'm sure that Marius has been pulling back with his forces, as we can see that they've moved to close range. And again, the advantage, absolutely, without question, is Mr. Burner's blue team. Marius knows that he has the advantage. He's trying to draw them out so that Bob and Stubby can bring the guns down. Bob is now going to utilize that UAC-20 and he's going to try and take down Proxima, and this very well could be the match right now. They're going to try and focus on the arms of Bob. They've now decided to move to Shooter, and Shooter's very much in danger of dead. Remember that Bob was dead. Stubby gets shot down, so that does even things up a bit, but please remember that Davionics, if he's still alive, is very heavily damaged. For Burner and Marius, I hate to say it, but for the blue team, if you're going to lose a mech, 30-ton Uhlers, certainly better than falling one of your others. You're probably going to see Burner move up to try and get some positions. That arrow will hit, because remember the Lambs is on the Mad Cat. There goes the drop commander, there goes the long-range asset support, and now it's going to be up to Burner to get some long-range LRM locks and allow for his Mad Cat to get in position. However, there goes Davionics, so this is still anybody's fight. Remember that they have the better close-range weaponry, and Burner only has taken light to moderate damage, but facing Django, this will be a very close fight. Burner has excellent close-range weaponry with his... Nope, that's it. And now Bob is going to have to hope that Burner was able to get as much damage as he could. Right now, Django is going to try and take on Krieger. Shooter's going to move up and bring down those ATM missiles, which are just deadly. That thing punches. Shooter can be very aggressive, because if they lose the Cougar, they still have enough firepower with the Daiichi and the Uhler to finish things off here. So Django is smelling blood. He wants to get up close, but he wants to make sure his teammates are there to support him. You see Shooter opening them up, and now an excellent movement here by Silver and Django. And Bob is key here. He needs to stay alive as long as he can, because they have enough damage. They've damaged the enemy enough. It's uphill for the blue team, but now with that arrow flying, if that hits, this is over. Bob down, and now Krieger will fight hard. We'll see you on Map 5 on Extremity again, as the Blakist forces have forced a Map 5, utilizing their sticking togetherness and utilizing their long-range firepower, and this was a closer match than it looks. But again, we move on to Extremity. Thank you for watching the Chaos March Network. We'll see you next time.